One day, James sat on his couch, phone in hand, scrolling mindlessly through social media. It had become a routine and unconscious habit that filled the spaces between his daily obligations. The bright screen illuminated his face as he scrolled past photos of people vacationing in exotic places, friends celebrating milestones, and influencers promoting products he didn't need. Somewhere deep inside, a thought nagged at him: is this really how I want to spend my time? But he ignored it, continuing to scroll. Hours slipped by unnoticed. The day had started with good intentions. He had planned to work on his novel, go for a run, and maybe even call his grandmother, whom he hadn't spoken to in weeks. But here he was, watching videos of strangers dancing, debating in the comments section of a post he didn't truly care about, and checking notifications that brought no real joy. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across the room, and reality hit him. He had wasted yet another day. Frustration built up inside him. He tossed his phone onto the table and leaned back, staring at the ceiling. Why do I do this? He knew time was precious. He had read all the motivational quotes. Time is the one thing you never get back. Make every second count. Yet, he let his days slip through his fingers, lost in distractions that added nothing to his life. Determined to break the cycle, James stood up and grabbed his notebook. He had always dreamed of writing a novel but never got past the first chapter. He blamed time, yet the truth was, he had plenty of it. He just spent it on things that didn't matter. He flipped through the pages, reading over half-formed ideas and unfinished sentences. His heart pounded. This is what I should be doing. With newfound determination, he sat at his desk and started typing. Words poured out, shaky at first, then smoother as he gained momentum. An hour passed, then two. He had written more in one sitting than he had in months. For the first time in a long time, he felt alive. The next day, he resisted the urge to pick up his phone first thing in the morning. Instead, he went for a run. The crisp air filled his lungs, and his mind felt clearer. He called his grandmother later that afternoon, listening to her stories, feeling a warmth he hadn't realized he missed. He spent the evening reading a book, one that had been gathering dust on his shelf for years. James didn't transform overnight. There were days he still wasted time, falling back into old habits. But each time, he caught himself sooner. He reminded himself that life was moving forward, whether he used his time wisely or not. He had a choice here: to watch life pass him by or to be present, to create, to build something meaningful. One evening, as he finished another chapter of his novel, he looked at his phone, now silent on the table. He no longer felt the compulsion to check it. Instead, he felt something else: pride, fulfillment, and a sense that he was finally taking control of his time. And that made all the difference.